let's do the nice, light-hearted, easy story of the day. Amber Heard has been ordered. Oh, no, not ordered. Sorry. She settled the appeal. So she settled the appeal for $1 million because Johnny Depp won. I think the net difference in that lawsuit that captured the soul of a nation, much in the way Rittenhouse's trial did, it was like an $8.5 million to $10 million difference, where he got 11 million, she got 1, and whatever. There was a big amount that she owed. Johnny Depp won 10.35 verdict against his ex-wife in a sensational 6-week civil trial. Amber Heard has agreed to pay $1 million to settle his defamation claim against her. She saves the appeal. She would have spent $1 million on appeal, there's no question. She reduces the exposure to pay the balance. Johnny Depp, I can tell you, he's probably so much happier with $1 million. Between 1 and 10 million, it makes no difference. She's paying it not voluntarily. She's paying it voluntarily, but admitting nothing. Heard, 36, has agreed to cough up a 7-figure sum in an acronym, whatever. I just want to read the statement, her social media statement, to explain away what she's doing. You know, you settle for a bunch of reasons. You settle for a bunch of reasons. It's not an admission of guilt. You want to avoid the costs of protracted litigation, yada, yada, yada. We've all drafted these things. Amber Heard, I don't know what platform this is on. Nate Brody shared the screen grab. After a great deal of deliberation, pun intended, there was some deliberation in there also from other people, I have made a very difficult decision to settle the defamation case brought against me by my ex-husband in Virginia. I just want to know, is she pledging the $1 million? Sorry, couldn't avoid it. I don't think Johnny Depp is going to settle for a pledge. The only question is Elon Musk going to pay the $1 million? I couldn't avoid that either. Sorry, no jokes. This is a serious matter here. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. I know she's still the victim. I defended my truth. Yeah. And you know why you lost? Because your truth was a lie. That's the thing about my truth, is nobody cares about your truth. One cares about the truth. And now that we've heard those recordings, you're entitled to your truth. And I'm entitled to think that your truth was a pathological, narcissistic lie, as did the jury. I defended my truth, and in doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed. That's typically what happens when liars don't stop lying, don't admit wrongdoing, and try to ruin someone else's life through their lies. That's typically what happens. But you're the victim. The vilification I have faced on social media is an amplified version of the ways in which women are re-victimized when they come forward. Do you know what, actually, Amber? You have made it harder for other victims to come forward with your story, because people believed you. Now they no longer believe you. And people are going to have that initial reflex, initial thought now going forward, if they never had that thought in the past, when they hear of another alleged victim coming forward in the future. You did that. Agreed, by the way. You know what also re-victimizes victims? When other people pretend to be victims. That's the worst form of re-victimization, because they're looking at someone who was not a victim, now under a court of law determined, claiming to be a victim, when all the audio recordings comes out and shows that you might have been the victimizer, and now you're trying to exploit the valor of victimhood, thus abusing of actual victims and re-victimizing them again. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Now I finally have an opportunity to emancipate myself from something I attempted to leave over 6 years ago on terms I can agree to. That's a bizarre phraseology. Emancipate myself? I have made no admission. We would expect nothing less, Amber. This is not an act of concession. Of course not. There are no restrictions or gags with respect to my voice going forward. No, nobody would have ever thought there would have been. And, you know, defamation is not a restriction or a gag on a voice. It's just the legal consequences of spreading lies that actually cost someone else a good portion of their career. What Johnny Depp actually suffered as a result of that is real and quantifiable and demonstrable. So that's the latest news from Amber Heard, paying off $1 million. That's got. And you know what the funny thing is? I don't know how much she paid Elaine and team, but she probably could have gotten off for $1 million before the trial with the settlement that just apologized. But maybe not. I don't think so. I take that back. Johnny Depp, wanted the trial and wanted his story told. And he probably would have turned down 10 million before the trial to end up with $1 million after conviction.